Welcome to the Wild Plants show of Powell River on the Sunshine Coast. This is the Calypso bulbosa, also called a fairy slipper orchid. These were photographed on Texada. Beautiful orchid. There's many over there. They have the right conditions, right types of moss for them to grow and thrive over there. A beautiful, also called the deer's head orchid, as you can see by that shot there. Coming up is an albino one that I photographed on Texada. This clip here is the Allium cernum. It's a lily. It's a nodding onion, and photographed on the bluffs here in Wildwood. It's called a nodding onion. The Pacific bleeding heart is very common, a beautiful plant. It likes moist areas. It has the most beautiful leaves, and they're really nice. This is a green flowered bog orchid that I photographed up on the Bunser Hills, or north of Lund. And coming up is the emergence of the Allotropa virgata. It's a candy cane found on Valentine Mountain and also on the way to Loon Lake. They're fairly common. And in this clip is a Vancouver ground cone as well, in with the virgata. They're a very beautiful plant. They're parasitic. They, when I photographed these on the way to Loon Lake, I just couldn't believe the entanglement that they got themselves into. I've never seen anything like it before, but they're very beautiful. This one coming up is a ground cone. It's called the Vancouver ground cone. That's the emergence when it starts to come through in the late spring. Here's the ground cones here. They are a root parasite plant. They connect themselves to the roots of nearby plants to get their nourishment. They're quite beautiful. They like to grow in the mossy conditions, like you see here. Coming up is the Hyacinthia brodea. It's a fool's onion. It doesn't have an onion odor, but I don't know how it got that name. But it doesn't have an odor of an onion, but it's a beautiful plant. And then here's a mountain man posing beside an arbutus tree, taken just up from the bridge at Wildwood. It's quite a large tree. Here's one on the lake overlooking Powell Lake. The young bark on the arbutus has that beautiful chartreuse color. When it's shedding its bark, that's a new bark coming and the old bark is shedding. Arbutus means strawberry tree in Latin, referring to the bright red fruits that the tree produces. Here's its flowers. They're kind of bell-shaped. And then the red fruits coming. They get redder than that, but I photographed it this time. This is on Scout Mountain, a nice shot of the arbutus trees up on a bluff. This shot is the wild native blackberry, trailing blackberry called Rubus ursinus. They're very tasty blackberries. It's a native blackberry. And then here we have a brown-eyed sunshine lichen. Brown-eyed is it's a common name, and it's a lichen. Likes to grow on branches, semi kind of rotten branches on trees, and then they get blown off to the ground. This is the western white. This is the white fawn lily. These were photographed down at Sliammon River below the hatchery. In the early spring, there's quite a few of them down there along the river. They're a lovely plant. This photo was taken in Duncan by an old Anglican church. It's over 120 years old now, and they don't cut anything here until all the plants have died down. This is the start of a chocolate lily, Fritillaria lanceolata. It likes open places, meadows, bluffs from sea level to near subalpine areas. This plant here is the beginning of the buds starting to open. They're quite common here. There's lots on the Wildwood Bluffs, also on Scout Mountain. You see them in many places. These are lovely chocolate lilies there. This is the pink fawn lily. It will grow with the white fawn lily as well. And these are actually photographed over in Courtney and in Duncan because we don't get these here. In this shot here, the leaves there, the rounder leaves, that's the leaves of the lily of the false lily of the valley. But this is their shot of what their leaves really look like. They're really beautiful. And we have the Western Trillium. The trillium is the flower of Ontario, provincial flower. Here it shows the white trillium, which is the color they turn into when they start to age, into pink to the purple color. Their leaves are absolutely beautiful as well. The lovely flower. Here's a shot of a salmonberry with a little spider on it. Here's another one. This is a yarrow plant, which a lot of insects really are drawn to. Here's the western coral root. It's an orchid. It's the spotted coral root. It's a very beautiful plant. They grow right here down by the dump in Powell River or in Wildwood here, and in Powell River, and sometimes quite a mass of them grow together. This is an albino one coming up here of the Coloriza mertensiana. It's another coral root. This is a striped coral root. This one, they're fairly rare around here. It's the only one I've found. Now this one here is the Alaska rain orchid, photographed over by Powell Lake. If you go in from the bridge, they're along there where Block Bay is. This is the chickweed monkey flower, along with some blue-eyed Marys. They're called Mimulus alcinoides. That means little actor in Latin. Here they are here. They're beautiful. They're very small. These are all photographed over on the Wildwood Bluffs. There's some more on some rocky ledges there. A beautiful spot. The chicory, it's a native to Eurasia. It's an Arabic name. Chicorium intybus means wild chicory. This actually is photographed on the Wellington Beach Trail. This is Cladonia bellidiflora. It's a lichen, photographed on the way to Little Slammin Lake. Lichens are plants that grow everywhere in the world. This is the blue-eyed Marys, photographed down at the bottom of the bluffs down here from, if you go along the bridge and take that trail down to the lower trail along to Gibson's Beach. There's numerous blue-eyed Mary there, Colindia parviflora. Lovely plants. Here they are on the bluffs, interspersed with mosses and Lovely place there. These are slime molds. I don't know how many people have seen these or have noticed them and not paid much attention, but I have a lot of photos of these. I've only included a few here. But these little slime molds actually move. They don't know a lot about them. They're hard to identify. I have quite a few at eFlora and at UBC, and it's hard to get them identified. But you can see that they actually move along on the logs there. There's many different. Here's some more here. They're beautiful. This one was photographed across the bridge at Duck Lake, and it was growing on fir branches. This is the pincushion orange. It grows on maple tree branches, usually higher up, and sometimes the strong winds can break them and bring them down, and I can get to photograph them. Coming up is a freckle pelt, Peltigera britannica. They bear the scattered warts called cephalodia. They grow along rocky ledges, usually often bearing brown fruiting bodies. This is the Indian pipe, called Latin name is Monotropa uniflora. In the Salish languages, the name for Indian pipe means wolf urine and is associated with wolves and is said to grow where a wolf urinates. There's the seeds, pods of the Indian pipe. This is the Menzies redmouth minium. Sporophytes are common at the tip of the plant. It's a beautiful moss. Here is the heartleaf tway blade. It's an orchid, the Stira caudata. It's about 10 centimeters high, and it has a couple of colors and variations that it grows fairly close together in those different colors. Coming up is a juniper haircap moss, Polytrichum juniperium. Usually grows in mats along rocky areas, fairly open, semi-open areas, and it is an incredibly beautiful moss. Thank you for watching this show. I hope you enjoyed it.